Greetings, my name is Tim Bubb. I'm a Licking County Commissioner, and I'm a past president of CCAO. And we're taking an opportunity to visit with fellow commissioners and county council members from around Ohio who are somewhere in the area of concluding their careers and moving on to other challenges in their lives, but sometimes and oftentimes have a lot to offer in terms of lessons learned and best practices and things that can be shared for the next generation of people who are going to serve in the public role. So, Chris, let's start with that. Your background, Tuscarawas County, and while people may or may not know you, you have not always been a public servant, but you came from the private sector, worked some different jobs, as did I. And I was sort of a late arriver, and you were too, and at about the same time, really, in the early 21st century. A few years ago, we're dating ourselves a little bit, but you've been in the arena. And let's reflect on your public service. You began with a desire to be a public servant and a township trustee for a term or two, and then moved up to run for county office. A lot of people think it's necessary to serve in maybe a city, village, or township role before moving to county commissioner to have a feel for how government works. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's always beneficial when you're able to do those type of things and you can work in different areas of government that gives you an advantage, I think, an understanding of what local government is all about. And so I had always volunteered my whole life. I've always volunteered for different programs and different things in the community, but it was something that I really enjoyed doing. And I thought it would be great if I could do that on a full-time basis and still be able to provide for my family. So when I originally started out in a food distribution warehouse, and so I've worked both sectors of type of jobs. I've actually got a labor background as far as labor unions. I've served as a Teamster, as a United Steelworker, and a utility worker. So I've got some labor in my background, but then at the same time I ran for township trustee and did that for a couple terms. And then the opportunity came about for me to be able to do it full time because in our county, our elected officials at that level, at the county level, was able to make a living by the revenue that we receive through the salary.
Let me follow up on a little point you just made. You talked about being part of some organized labor in your career, moving up. And I think all of us as commissioners, we do have, many of the counties have collective bargaining with different employee unions, from law enforcement to a variety of things, the engineer's office possibly. Because not all of your employees are in unions, but some are. Has that helped to understand the collective bargaining process and what employees' needs are and how to fairly treat people in collective bargaining? Has that helped you to have that background?
I think absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, because it gave me a unique perspective. A lot of times people come out of if they're coming out of the private sector and it may be in a management position, they don't understand sometimes what goes on with the bargaining unit. So I was within a bargaining unit for those three that I mentioned for over a 24-year period. Even at the same time I was a township trustee, but when I had the opportunity to run for commissioner, I wanted to do that on a full-time basis. And when I ran, I said, that's what I'm going to do. I'll be your full-time commissioner, and I'll dedicate my time to that. And it's worked out well. You know, I've been very fortunate. I've been very blessed to be able to work in the private and the public, but absolutely I think that there was an advantage to understanding both sides.
Let's talk about, though, because this is a mentoring opportunity for you to share with people in the future and best practices. So you arrive at the opportunity to serve at the township level and then run for county office. For people who are maybe thinking about doing that, and you're thinking about maybe one term, you've served several terms, has it turned out to be a good second career and a good career opportunity for you to follow through the second half of your life?
Absolutely. For me, it's like I said, it's been so rewarding. I've had the opportunity to do things that I didn't think that I'd ever have the opportunity to do. And so I feel, again, very blessed and very fortunate to be able to serve the public, and I have a passion for that. And even though I'm leaving the public sector right now, I had that opportunity for a long period of time to be able to enjoy that. And from the time that I was working as a township trustee, and particularly as a county commissioner on a full-time basis.
Let's talk about CCAO for a moment, and for someone who maybe is new and just thinking about running for office, it's the County Commissioners Association of Ohio. It's a huge resource for all of us. When you and I both started, we were involved in committees through CCAO to review legislation and make recommendations, and I later got involved in leadership in CCAO, as have you. And what has it meant to you as a local county commissioner in Tuscarawas County to have that affiliation with commissioners from all over Ohio through CCAO and kind of learn and mentor with other people?
Well, I think it's very important that you build bridges, whether it's with the people that you work with or an association like County Commissioner Association. And I've been very fortunate. Again, the folks that I have worked with in our office have been exceptional. I have nothing but good memories about this, but connecting with the County Commissioner Association of Ohio has allowed me the opportunity to understand the unique differences between each of the counties. If you don't have a seat at the table, when the legislation comes up and you're looking at things that are important to you, you need to be able to put your input in. And County Commissioner Association of Ohio has such a good connection with our legislature and the importance of what is important to the counties. What individually, each of those counties from small, medium to large, their unique characters and what they need. CCAO understands that and advocates for that.
Speaking maybe to a new commissioner or a council member or someone who's contemplating getting into that arena, I think my best advice, I'm curious what your thoughts are, would be don't wait to get involved. You don't have to advance your career into a second or third term before you get involved in CCAO, because you're missing the opportunity to build relationships early in your career and I think be a more productive commissioner.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question of that. And again, I think the more that you're involved, the more that you understand, and the more that you can relate to other people, whether it affects your county or not. As we've served as president of CCAO, we not only advocate for our own county, but we advocate for the state of Ohio, because my thought has always been, and the motto that I've always used from the beginning, any politics that I've been involved with is teamwork for a better tomorrow. And we have to build those relationships, because you can't be too far to the right or too far to the left. You have to find some kind of compromise to represent the people the best you can and to move their county forward. And to do that, you have to build relationships and you have to have a give and take. And it's important to be able to do that. And our association, CCAO, has always had that philosophy that we're not an association of partisan. We're an association to move counties forward.
It's got to be nonpartisan.
Right.
Because we all share the same challenges.
Absolutely. And the state's going to be strong if you have all of your local government strong.
Let's talk about mentoring for just a moment as we start to think about you departing from your business. I know that Carrie Metzger, a former association president, has been a good mentor of yours through the years on a couple of occasions through that board. And, the hope is for anyone joining a board of commissioners or a board of township trustees that the people in place will take a positive attitude toward the new members and being a mentor. And at some point in your life, then you become the mentor to try to help them because you want that continuity.
I agree with that 100%. You got to move. You got to move forward. And Commissioner Metzger was a great mentor of mine. We're two political parties. He was Republican, I was Democrat, but we worked very well together. Didn't always agree on everything, but there are times that you don't agree. But we never had bad words with one another. But we were able to get a lot of things accomplished because of the philosophy of what we've just talked about. There has to be a way of working together to come to the common good for the people that you represent and to move your county forward.
Relationship building in your own county with other county officials or with neighboring commissioners who usually will give you very blunt and good advice from neighboring counties because they have no dog to fight in your county,
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
As we wrap this up, Chris, this is an opportunity maybe for you to share with future leaders and people who are interested in public service, which is an honorable profession. A thought or two maybe for people who are motivated in that direction, for people to think about, because there is plenty of work to do.
Well, I think one of the things that's important, again, is building the relationships. Base your decisions on facts. You base your decisions on the relationships that you have built that make sense for your county, and you get involved in the association CCAO to be able to advance your county forward. I have just had a very good experience my entire career. There have been times that have been very challenging. There are going to be times it's going to be very challenging, but you'll get past that. And again, my thought for as I leave office is that I want to leave my community a bit better than it was when I came. And I encourage anyone that wants to go into public service that they go into it with an attitude of service and not for just personal gains, because there's a lesson in that also.
That's exactly what we want to share, that there are opportunities to make your county a better place, and at the same time, I think it can be a fulfilling career opportunity to be a county commissioner or a public leader. Chris, you've done a great job. It's been a pleasure working with you through the years, and you've given back as much as you've taken in terms of these relationships, and we've all been better for it. Thank you for your service. I'm County Commissioner Tim Bubb, and we thank you for watching today.